After discussing the digestive disorders and yoga therapy for the digestive diseases, let us move on to the respiratory diseases. Before going to the understanding of the respiratory diseases, let us know the general structure of the respiratory system. The respiratory system is broadly divided into two segments or two divisions for a descriptive purpose, which are called as the upper respiratory tract and the lower respiratory tract. In the respiratory tract, we see the first organ as the nose, which has multiple functions for the proper channelization of the flow of the air inside. And then there is a pharynx and larynx. Further it goes to the epiglottis, leading to the tube, in which it divides into two parts as bronchus. Further, the bronchus are going to be divided into bronchioles. Bronchioles are having the functional structures like alveoli. This is how the structure is being formed. And also, it is comprising the rib cages. Within the rib cage, we have the pairs of lungs, intercostal muscles, as well as the diaphragm. The rib cage plays an important role in protecting these vital organs. Healthy respiratory system is one of the fundamental gateway for the life, and cardiovascular is another important gateway. Inhaled air has to be effectively circulated through the heart, and this has to be absorbed by the lungs. Lungs play a prominent role to get better composition of the air into the system, and further it is being circulated through the circulatory system, contributed by the role of heart. The better exchange of the gases is one of the fundamental functions taking place in the respiratory system. The optimum utilization of the oxygen to the cells and effective elimination of the carbon dioxide by the body is achieved through the efficiency of the lungs. The respiratory system is being affected by a variety of the problems. Most of the causes can be attributed to the bad lifestyle, in which the consumption of alcohol, it may be there, or excessive smoking may be there, the consumption of the tobacco may be there. So these are all impacting the health of the respiratory system. Apart from that, there are two more factors in which the breathing is taking place through the mouth. Sometimes the people are finding the shallow breath, as well as some unventilated conditions, unhygienic environment, along with poor dietic discipline, sluggish digestion, are some of the factors which contribute for the respiratory diseases. Some of these causes, when they are not addressed properly, they can lead to various respiratory disorders. In this presentation, we shall outline the four problems comprising from the upper respiratory tract as well as the lower respiratory tract. Common colds, which is commonly experienced on account of variety of the conditions, like a change in the weather or some thermostatic imbalance, the temperature upsets, they can bring the cold experience. Then the bronchial asthma, which is taking place in the bronchus. It is a spasm which is mainly taking to the tube, as well as in the bronchus, like the bronchioles are being affected, the bronchus and bronchioles are being affected, and that's why it's named as bronchial asthma. There are variety of the factors like psychological, hereditary, or some chronic stressful situations which can lead to the severe attack of the asthmatic conditions. It finds very difficult for the sufferer to lead a healthy life on account of this particular problem. They cannot find effective participation in the normal activities of their life such as taking part in the sports, it may be there, or going for outdoor activities. These are all being limited by the influence of the several times of the asthmatic attacks. The sinusitis, which is mainly associated with the upper respiratory tract, there are 4 cavities in the place like the cheeks as well as in the forehead region. These are the cavities where the mucus content, when gets deposited, are getting infections. These infections are leading to the inflammation of the cavities, or the sinuses are being infected and that they get inflamed. Inflammation of the sides of the sinus cavities is called as sinusitis. The common symptoms of sinusitis is heaviness in the face, sometimes running nose, sometimes too much of headache associated with the sinusitis. The third one is the bronchitis. The fourth one is the bronchitis. Bronchitis means inflammation of the bronchus on account of the various reasons listed as the causes of the respiratory diseases, bring the inflammation in the different parts of the bronchus as well as in the bronchioles, and that is attributed to the problem of the bronchitis. The bronchitis is one of the cause of many times the disturbances to the healthy respiratory pattern. The efficiency to breathe, the efficiency to complete exhalation is being affected by the inflammation of the bronchitis. Some of these problems, when they are not being treated, can continue to lead various serious disorders such as the pneumonia, when the problem starts in the upper respiratory tract and continues to the lower respiratory tract. When it is not being treated or managed, it can be a complex problem like pneumonia. So these practices, the problems of the respiratory system can be effectively managed with the help of the effective practices of the yoga in order to control these respiratory diseases. Now we can look into the yoga therapy for the respiratory diseases. The yoga therapy is a combination of different practices like asana, pranayama, mudra bandha, as well as the meditation and relaxation techniques. In this aspect, we will see the role of healthy food habits as well as the lifestyle as a fundamental principle to begin any kind of effective module for a therapeutical intervention. The proper nourishment, the food which are not highly stimulating, are recommended for the people, those who are being affected by respiratory disorders. Particularly, the food which are not increasing the kapha are good to reduce the impact of kapha on the body system, as the chest is the reason where too much of kapha is being accumulated. The second one is the Shatkriyas, or the cleansing techniques. These are purificatory body practices, body purificatory techniques, which help a lot to overcome the imbalances and the toxins. For the effective maintaining of the respiratory health, there are 3 important kriyas. First one is the Jalaneti or Sutraneti. Neti is the nasal irrigation with the saline water, which has the greater impact of osmotic pressure, through which the impurities along the line of the nasal cavities are eliminated when the practice of Jalaneti is being practiced. This is also good to improve the sleep pattern. Most of the time the sleep is being disturbed. The Neti practice contributes for the sleep pattern. Kapalabhati is useful in the drying of the nostrils, where the sinus cavities are getting inflamed. The excessive heat which is being generated on account of the mechanism of the Kapalabhati helps to relieve the sinusitis pain and also it is going to improve the functioning ability of the sinus cavities. Further, the Dauti like Kunjala Kriya helps to overcome the upper respiratory tract issues, particularly the bronchitis and asthma are managed with the help of Dauti practice. Then the next practice is on the asana practice. Asana helps to bring very good rhythm and harmony in the pattern of the breathing. As we see, when there is a disease condition, it is being represented by the irregularity in the breathing pattern. That is the shwasa, prashwasa, irregularity of the breath, which is being attributed in the breathing pattern. Then the importance of asana is being counted on many parameters. For example, the forward bending asanas, which develops a sense of hibernation, which fills the lungs completely and ensures the complete filling of the ventricles, in which the proper circulation as well as proper exchange of the gases is possible on account of the forward bending postures. The good asanas for the respiratory system are counted as the back bending poses. Postures like Bhujangasana, Dhanurasana, Ustrasana helps a lot to improve the strength and flexibility of the rib cage, which is having the vital organs like the lungs. The rib cage is being placed. The effective strength of the rib cage, particularly the strength and flexibility, contributes for improving the intercostal muscles' functional capacity. This in turn contributes for effective exchange of the gases through the functional units of the respiratory system, which is under the rib cage. The diaphragm is strengthened by variety of the asana practices. Pranayama is another important module which we can use in the therapeutical aspects of respiratory diseases. The techniques like Ujjayi, Anuloma Viloma, Bhastrika and Bhramari contribute a lot for the prevention and management of various respiratory issues. The Ujjayi Pranayama, with a partial closing of the epiglottis, allows the deep breathing through the friction in the vocal region. It creates a ocean sound and the mind gets absorbed in this sound, and there is a possibility of the deeper breathing, which in terms allows the optimum utilization of the oxygen to the cells and contribute to the opening of the capillaries on account of increased pressure which is being created by the resistance through the flow of the air entering into the region of the lungs. This is a positive impact of activating the entire system without subjecting it to the physical activity. In the resting condition only, the efficient breathing of Ujjayi Pranayama improves the lung capacity and contributes for the corresponding changes in the cardiovascular system along with the promotion of the digestion. So in connection, the respiration, circulation and the digestion are enhanced by one single technique of Ujjayi Pranayama. Secondly, the Anuloma Viloma is a practice which balances the flow of energy within the system. Most of the time we find the uninostril dominance. Sometimes the right nostril is dominant, sometimes the left nostril is dominant. These energy patterns are required to be in the proper flow. For that, the Anuloma Viloma helps a lot, and this also overcome the toxins accumulated along the nadis or the energy channels. Bhastrika is one of the best practice which creates a kind of hyperventilation situation while exhaling with forced efforts. This is good to dissolve the excess accumulation of the kapha, and that is being discharged effectively. The excess mucus is being eliminated by the body. It also kindles the digestive fire so that there is no scope for the accumulation of the kapha, which commonly causes the poor digestive condition. The next practice is the meditation. There are variety of the psychological influences for the respiratory disorders. For example, the stress is one of the causative factor for the situation like asthmatic tendencies. In the practice of meditation, it improves the harmony of the mind and body. It allows a deep breathing so that the activity of the alpha wave pattern in the brain is being enhanced. This in turn stabilizes the dominance of parasympathetic nervous system. Collectively, it develops a feeling of well-being from the psychological perspectives. The relaxation techniques like Yoga Nidra and Shavasana have a great role to play for the promotion of the health as a whole. Apart from the respiratory issues, they can contribute for the different systems as a whole in the therapeutical module. Shavasana helps to relieve the tendency like anxiety or phobic tendencies, which are common factors to affect the rhythm of the respiration. Likewise, the asana, pranayama, meditation and relaxation techniques collectively contribute to develop the healthy respiratory system, and they contribute for a rhythmic breathing pattern which helps in the prevention of many of the respiratory diseases.